Well, another absolutely crappy bus ride from Smithfield this time. I reckon it took me 45 to 50 minutes to get back home. Bloody ridiculous. They stopped at a school. This was actually before 3 and the school kids were already out. It was about I think it took about 10 minutes for the kids to get on the bus, and it was where the Smithfield Library is, and it was just ridiculous. It took that would have been around quarter to 3 o'clock, and they're already out of school. So basically, I've learned a lesson from this. I've got to get on the bus either before about quarter to 3, so the previous bus to that, half hour before that, or way past it, because otherwise it's just horrendous. Also, there's some kids playing rap music again, or bebop, or whatever you call it, in the back of the bus, but only for a short period of time this time, and not quite as loud as with the when we had that gang of kids, about 10 kids who I had to endure for about 3 days. But yeah, travelling by bus up here, you've got to be careful when you do it, otherwise it's a pain. It takes forever. This is the longest bus ride. I mean, that's almost the time it takes to come from Cairns up to the beaches, just to go from Smithfield to Kewarra. So yeah, pretty bad. So had a good time checking out a couple of nurseries with Lynette, and bought a few plants, and I've got to now know a place where I can buy bulk mulch and also pavers. They've got a whole lot of stuff. This wholesale place nearby, and they'll deliver stuff apart, anything that's not too heavy, for about $35. So it's not bad actually. But if you want to have things like pavers delivered, then you pay a lot more, pay about 3 times as much. So it's more based on the weight of the stuff they've got to deliver. So I'll see how it goes. And I'm going to try out the delivery system for Kmart too, because I went and picked up my bamboo dish rack, which I'm carrying with me at the moment, and that worked out okay, although they charged me extra $3 admin fee because I actually arranged to pick it up. I should have actually included it with a whole lot of delivery stuff, because my understanding is if I spend more than $50, then it's free delivery, but I'll just double check that online. But yeah, the day, it's been a bit better weather-wise. It hasn't been quite as wet. We had some nice sunny periods, but it's actually gone overcast again. Anyway, I'm back home now, and be good to relax, and I won't be going on the bus tomorrow. Hello everyone, it's a beautiful day in Cairns. We're finally getting some dry and sunny weather, and this should be my big day, the day that settlement is finally passed on the property I purchased in Kewarra Beach. They usually settle between the hours of 2 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's when the banks like to do it, and of course the banks call the shots. And so there's quite a substantial amount of cash waiting in my account to be transferred to the sellers and the middlemen. And like I said, it's just after 2, so any time from now on in the next 2 hours, hopefully I'm going to hear some good news, because it's been delayed by almost a week, and partially due to COVID. So, you know, you wouldn't expect that to be a consequence of the Victorian shutdown, but it has affected me indirectly. I just met one of the neighbours here. Well, I met 2 neighbours. I met Tammy helped me actually get over the front fence, the front gate, because with a ladder. So that was nice of her, and that's the only time I've seen Tammy. Today, the next door neighbour to me said hello, and And she informed me that the people renting here weren't the nicest people on earth. As a matter of fact, she suspected that it was a drug dealer. So not exactly ideal. Very good for them that they're finally not here, because it looks as though most of the places in this part of the world are owned as opposed to being rented. In Kewarra Beach, overall, it's around 70% ownership, 30% renting. And in this particular part of Kewarra Beach, I'm assuming it would actually be a higher level of ownership, but it's only a guess. I'm not 100% sure. There was another place just near where my place is. Well, I hope it's my place. We'll find out soon enough. That was up for inspection on Saturday, so I thought I'd better check it out. And it was going for more than 499,000. So not sure if the agent's going to get that price, because it's the same agent was selling the duplex down in Yorkeys Beach, Yorkeys Knob. And I thought that was asking more than 399,000 was an absurd amount for that. And as it's turned out, they have had to change the price point to the high high 300s. I think they asked for the amended amount. So there's a bit of realism coming back to the market in certain areas, but they're the same. It's Ray White, and they're actually now asking for more than $499 for this property that has 3 bedrooms as opposed to my place, which has 4 bedrooms. It does have a pool, and it is slightly bigger in property size. So it's about 890, I think, and mine's 810 square metres, so slightly bigger. I'm learning about the soil in this area. It is a rather clayey soil, and is going to require a bit of attention. It's very hard to break through. I've tried just a couple of experiments there, and just digging a hole, and it's not easy. It's like concrete, so that's going to be tough going. So gardening may be a bit of a battle until I get enough organic material into the soil to break things up, because clay can be really hard to work with. It's not necessarily the worst material to use if you can add that organic material, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge. So see how it all goes. So there's some good places around here to buy plants. But again, you've got to have a car, and I actually checked how much it would cost to get an Uber, say from the local Bunnings in Smithfield, which I don't think is stocked as well as the one in Cairns. It'd cost about $17.50 just to get from there to Kewarra Beach. So I think it's around 7 kilometres. It's quite a distance actually. So things are rather spread out up here, so it's a different mindset. So much so that I've inquired into having things delivered, and the good news is that a place like Kmart actually can provide you free deliveries. I think if it's over $50 purchases, so that's pretty reasonable actually. So I'm fairly impressed with that, and I'll try that out. And also I compared Coles and Woolworths when it came to delivering, and the reason I'm doing this is because the bus trip just from here to Smithfield can take over half an hour. Something to be avoided if possible, or minimised at the very least, because I don't want to be spending my life on a bus. I've got better things to do with my time, and so that's got to be sorted out. And I did a comparison between, so I thought, well, if I can get bulk supermarket shopping done, both Coles and Woolworths require a minimum spend of $50, which is easy for a family, but not so easy for just a single guy, and you don't eat that much. So you basically got to bulk up on a lot of stuff that's not going to be perishable. The non-perishables is the way to go and get a lot of those. So, but if you compare Woolworths to to Coles. Woolworths have a minimum delivery charge of $13, and with Coles it's only $4, so it's substantially less for Coles. If you've got a big spend, if you spend like I think $150 or more, maybe $250 or more, you can get free delivery. But that's fine for families, but it doesn't do me any good. So the other thing is I like to get certain things from Woolworths as opposed to Coles. Their greens are generally fresher, so I prefer to buy them at Woolworths. I think the bread is better, and their bakery in general is better, and there's just a couple of other items I prefer to get there. So I do actually want to still shop at Woolworths, but because of the way they've priced the deliveries, they're going to lose a lot of business from me. So that's their business model. They want to do that. The same applies with Bunnings. Bunnings is very expensive for deliveries. I think it's in effect they're basically saying we don't want to deliver. They're just charging so much. And it's even hard to get to as a pedestrian. So you've got the double whammy here with Bunnings. It's pretty bad. So I have to wait until I've got a tradie coming around, and I can. Someone like Adam's great. He's quite happy to go there and let me load up his tray with all the stuff I need, and I've still got quite a bit to buy. So it seems never ending when you get into a house. Looking at the things I'm going to need is quite a long list. So. But at least I've done all the research now, and assuming that the settlement goes ahead, that's the green light. And I'm going to also get some bulk materials that will be delivered here. The place will deliver mulch and also potting mix and in bulk amounts, and they only charge $35 for those sorts of things. If you want to get heavier stuff like pavers, then it gets up pretty pricey to closer to $100 to have them delivered. So that's a bit prohibitive, but for just other items like soil and what have you, mulch and that type of thing, they're quite reasonable. So and they're actually in Kewarra Beach, so they don't have to go far anyway. So yeah, I'm getting everything sorted, doing all the research and what have you. Life is different when you're actually going to be living in a house as opposed to living in an apartment in the inner city of Cairns. So yes, it'll be interesting to see if this delivery system actually works, if they get the delivery right, if they do it in a timely manner. If you want to get the lowest prices, you have to give them a 6-hour window, for instance, to deliver. So you've got to show a lot more flexibility if you want to get the lower rates. Otherwise, the delivery price with Coles goes up. But at least Coles makes it viable for a single person to get a bulk delivery. With Woolworths, you have to spend $150 minimum to make it worthwhile, and that just ain't going to happen. I struggled to get $50, believe it or not, with Coles. So, well, that's just the way it is. But at least now deliveries are more in vogue than they were in the past. So we'll see how it all goes. But Kmart, take your hats off to Kmart. They're providing free deliveries just over $50, so that's a great deal. So very impressed. So kudos to Kmart. Anyway, that's just an update of how my lifestyle is changing. I'm pretty tired. I could do with a good rest, and just start to relax, especially if the news come through today that I am now the owner of this property. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good time. I hadn't updated for a few days, so I thought I'd better get off my ass and do that and keep you in the loop. So I hope everything's going well for you. I hope the weather's as nice where you are as it is here. And please give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, comment, and consider subscribing. But I have had a few more subscribers recently, so thank you very much for the people who have bothered to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I'll just keep you in the loop about living in suburbia in the northern beaches of Cairns. Bye.